The Warriors dynasty, the Warriors big three. There's been a conversation like all season. Are they done? Is it time to break up? Seen that all over the place this season. And like I said, it cooled down for a minute when they went on that run, trying to make the play in, trying to make it to the playoffs. Kind of cooled down because they look like they found a rhythm. But after last night, you already know the talk's back. Now the Warriors fans, they not going for it. They not trying to see nobody leave. They want all of them to stay. They was showing Klay Thompson mad love, even though, you feel me, he went 0 for 10. 0 for 10. 0 for 6 from 3, 0 for 10 altogether. Donut, like I was saying, man, you could just see the hurt in that man's face. Like, you could tell, like, he a competitor, man. One thing about Klay Thompson, he ain't never been sweet. He always been a competitor. And he wears hard on his sleeves, like all the stuff with the 4 rings when he was talking to I forget who he was talking to, Devin Booker. He even checked himself. He was like, yo, man, I was in my feelings, bro. Like, they was cooking it, so I had to let him know. Like, same thing in the locker room when he found out he got benched. You seen it all in his face. Same thing last night, like just missing the shots, and you could tell when the game got put away, you could just see the defeat on his face, not just as that game, but just like, shit, I ain't got it no more. Like, you could just see it in him, man. And that's why I ain't gonna bash him, man, because Klay is definitely one of the greats of this era for sure. And the Warriors' problems started way before now. Is the dynasty, should it be over? Yeah, but a lot of people try to attribute that to what been going on this season with Draymond and his antics. Klay and his slump, he hot and cold, he back and forth, but for the main part, he been cold all season, nothing like it used to be. So they try to attribute all of that to this season. But to be honest, the decisions they've been making as a franchise over, I'll say like the last however many, let's go back to 2018. The last year Kevin Durant was there. That's when it kind of started. Because if you want to talk about Draymond Green and his antics and how they affecting the team, let's go back there. At that time, 2018, 2019, last time Kevin Durant was there, he was considered the second best player in the world behind LeBron James. And because, Draymond Green did what he did, got up on him in that game when he passing the ball, called him all kind of, called him out his name, called him bitch ass nigga, basically. Can we cuss on her? Yeah, I can cuss. Called him all kind of bitch ass niggas, ended up making him leave, but that's Draymond being over emotional. You see how that's starting to turn out now since it ain't never been checked. And the person that should have checked it is Steve Kerr. And I say that because if you're gonna be a great coach, you not only got to know how to like call plays and play situational basketball, but you got to know how to manage them personalities in the locker room. Like, look at Phil Jackson. Like, he had to manage Michael Jordan, who was in the 90s, like, if you remember, like the biggest thing in the world. Like, if you remember, you remember. Scottie Pippen, one of the greatest players of that era. Then you got the wild card, Dennis Rodman, who just was wilding. Like, he had to manage all of that and, make sure that they all on the same page and make sure that none of them are distraction in the locker room and everything is for the betterment of the team. And it seemed like Steve Kerr don't got that part in him. Even the same thing with Phil Jackson with the Lakers. Like, he had held down Kobe and Shaq, even though through their feud and stuff, maybe they said stuff about each other off the court. They still three-peated together. On the court, you couldn't stop them. So you gotta, if you're gonna be a great coach, you gotta know how to manage them personalities. And I think Steve Kerr been failing to do that with Draymond Green for the longest. So that's one of the first instances. Draymond Green getting KD up out of there, making him want to leave, and Steve Kerr not handling the situation. Now let's go to 2020, where the Warriors had the second overall pick. Now, they already considered a dynasty at this time. This is like when the Lakers lost to Detroit in 2004, and it's like they got the second pick after that. Like, in that next draft, they had the second overall pick, but they never lost Shaq either. They still kept Kobe and Shaq and had the second overall pick. They ain't do nothing with it. They drafted James Wiseman, and did he really play for the Warriors? Like, for the most part, he just was in the G League the whole time. Even when Looney was hurt, I'm looking like, all right, Looney hurt, where the young boy like? Where Wiseman at? Oh, he's still in the G League. He back. They sent him back. So they ain't getting nothing out of that. They should have drafted LaMelo or somebody. Then on top of that, what made it even worse, y'all had Gary Payton II when y'all won a chip in 2022, and y'all let him go. And then y'all was like, oh shit, we need him back. So you take James Wiseman, who you who you already had, and you went to go get a bench player that you already had with that, basically with that second round, that second overall pick. So that pick was a waste. They should have did something else with it. They could have used it to get a vet or something. Maybe they didn't need a young boy. They needed somebody that was more seasoned to help them when they was in the win now mode. But it just absolutely went to waste. So that was another thing that went against them. Mind you, at this time, Klay Thompson hurt too, and he's trying to get back. But we're gonna get to him last. So what's next? Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins. He did good. He definitely helped them. He did his thing in 2022. So I can't really bash him too much, but like where they at now, he's not the player that they probably thought they was gonna have, here in the future from when they first got him. Being that be able to play on both ends of the floor, probably get you about 19, 20 points. He just so inconsistent, and he be having all these off the court issues that he ain't been effective as they needed him to be. So that's another like slight thing that happened to the team. Moody didn't pan out. Kuminga, he doing his thing now, but Kuminga, he took longer to pan out. I remember they was calling him a bust. They was calling all of them busts. Kuminga, Wiseman, Moody, and he actually played well last night, Moody. But so that's that with them players. And then we back to Draymond with him and his antics and not being able to control his emotions or letting his emotions get the better of him. With Jordan Poole, we already know what he did to Jordan Poole. He just was talking cash shit to him, and Draymond lost his cool, and you already know he checked him. And it's bad because it got leaked. It was on camera. So another Draymond Green incident where you lose a player because of that. That definitely tore the chemistry of the team apart, because Jordan Poole definitely helped them win that championship in 2022. Definitely helped steal a game, and that's a young talent that that fit in that system. Like, of course, he a young boy, he immature, but a lot of the time Steve Kerr could call a timeout, get him on the sideline for a little bit, do whatever he gotta do, then he come back in the game and he still be effective. And that's what they need. They need young legs, a guy that can score. Remember, they was calling him the third splash brother. Like, he could get hot and just go. Like, he was one of them. There's been plenty of times Curry got 30 and he got 32, looking like he was going to take over. Well, he did take over Klay Thompson as the second scorer. So they ended up losing that. And they get Chris Paul, like the oldest. Like, they say LeBron the oldest nigga in the league, but I think it's Chris Paul. I don't care what nobody say. Like, he done, man. One of the greatest point guards of all time. I ain't got nothing against Chris Paul. Like, send him to the Nuggets or something. Let's let him get a ring and just ride off into the sunset, because he done had some bad luck in his career as far as injuries. Like, he be right there, then he get injured. But one of the greatest point guards of all time, but it's over, bro. Like, you too old. Like, I wasn't hype about that clip. Remember when they first got together? It was like preseason or something. That little pick and roll between him and Curry, where it was like they came off the screen at the top of the key. They do like a behind the head pass, and Curry made it. Everybody's like, oh, see, know what I mean? They got the court vid. I'm like, no, that shit not gonna work, man. He's 95 years old, man. It's over. Y'all done let go of Jordan Poole, who was cooking for real for a damn senior citizen. So I knew that wasn't gonna work. That was over with. Yeah, they made their roster older. Like, it was like, you already don't know what Klay gonna be. Wiggins, you kind of don't know what he gonna do. He back and forth in and out the lineup, going through personal issues, and he not panning out to be what you want to be. And you go get an older player. So that never made sense to me. So yeah, man. And lastly, like I said, Klay Thompson. And I say Klay Thompson because of this. There's two ways you can look at this with Klay Thompson. If you like the Warriors fans, even myself, like, I'm not a Warriors, I'm a Sixers fan, I'm a Steph Curry fan for sure, favorite player, but they built something special together, man. I think when they took that franchise from like a $800 million franchise to like $8 billion, like 4 championships, the MVPs, just on top of the mountain for a long time, like a legit dynasty. And the core of that, of course, was Steph, Draymond, and Klay Thompson. So you would think like, yo, let's just they did it together. So all of them gonna be Warriors for life. They gonna retire Warriors. They gonna get their jerseys hung up, and I know the fans will love that. But as a franchise, if you want to continue trying to put your team in the best position to win, one of them was gonna have to go. And I remember when them talks first came up a few years ago, a lot of people was like, yo, Draymond, Draymond, Draymond. And I thought about it and I was like, nah, they should have got rid of Klay. And I'll tell you why. Klay Thompson, when he was at his peak, was elite at everything. He was elite defender and, I mean, beyond elite shooter. Like, you already know, like, 11 dribbles, 37 points in one quarter. They had, like, 6, like, come on, like, wasn't nothing like Klay Thompson. But after the injury, those attributes, although not, you know what I mean, they ain't gonna be good as him, they easy to replace because you basically just replacing the wing defender and somebody can hit open shots. Whereas though Draymond, the load that he carried, he's the defensive anchor. He orchestrates the offense. He rebounds. He put people in position. He get assists. Like, he a Swiss Army knife, and he their muscle. So it's like Draymond had more responsibilities, even though like it looked better with Klay because he was the other splash brother. He making all the shots and everything, but Draymond was always more important in that team than Klay. Not to say that Klay wasn't like right there, but when you just think about all the things that Draymond was asked to do, it made sense to keep him. And you could have probably got, like I said, a younger player with fresh legs. I mean, younger legs that can defend. I mean, and even though he probably wouldn't be able to shoot like Klay, maybe he could put it on the floor and score off the dribble better than Klay, like Jordan Poole had. But even if you was to get somebody else too, you had Jordan Poole and got rid of Klay and got another player like that. So that's why I always thought they should have got rid of Klay if they had to. You feel what I'm saying? But damn, man. All things, I mean, that lasts forever, man. All good things come to an end, man. Damn, man. Hope they get my boy Curry some help, man. He gonna need it. He gonna be 36 next season, but he still got something in the tank. But he gonna need some young legs over there with him. I don't know who they gonna get rid of out of Draymond and Klay Thompson. The fans seem like they want Klay there, but you know that don't mean nothing. Draymond, you know, he might be the locker room issue for teams. You know, both of their value is down right now because of Draymond antics and because of Klay, he looking like a shell of himself. Both of their stock is down, so you're not going to get what you probably could have got for him 2 years ago. That's another crazy thing. So let's see, man. Steph Curry said he want to ride it out with his bros, so we're going to see what happens.